JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, Jamaican man charged in the U.S. for traveling to meet minor for sex. A Jamaican man has been arrested and charged in Florida for traveling to have sex with a minor. A news release from the Florida Department of Law Enforcement said the investigation began in August when 31-year-old Taj Gavari Samuels messaged an undercover agent who was posing as a 14-year-old girl. The department said he planned to meet with the agent after sending lewd photos of himself. Believing he was meeting up with a young girl, Samuels traveled to Pensacola where he was charged. He was charged with one count of traveling to meet a minor to engage in sexual conduct after online solicitation, 7 counts of transmission of harmful material to minors, and 1 count of use of a two-way communications device to facilitate a felony. He has not received bail. St. Mary farmer shot dead. A farmer is dead after being shot inside the Stockholm Park housing scheme in St. Mary on Monday evening. The man, believed to be in his 40s, has been identified as Terence Vincent. Residents heard explosions, and shortly after, Vincent was seen lying in a pool of blood on the road, about 200 meters from the housing scheme. The police were summoned, and Vincent was transported to the Port Marie Hospital where he later died. This brings to 28 the number of murders committed in St. Mary since the start of the year. Investigations are ongoing. 2 motorcyclists killed in Westmoreland crash. 2 motorcyclists are dead as a result of injuries they sustained in a motor vehicle crash on the Retreat Main Road in Negril, Westmoreland, earlier today. The identities of the men are not yet known. The police's Corporate Communications Unit, CCU, confirmed the incident on Tuesday afternoon. Preliminary reports are that the men were riding on their motorcycles when they were mowed down by a vehicle. The men are believed to have been killed on the spot. We'll provide more details as soon as it becomes available. St. Catherine woman in custody over disappearance of courthouse keys. A woman has been taken into custody in relation to the disappearance of keys belonging to the St. Catherine Parish Court that were at the Spanish Town Police Station for safekeeping. She was apprehended on Monday during an operation at her house in Central Village, St. Catherine. The police sent investigation-led detectives to the woman's house. According to the police, keys within the descriptions of the missing items were found in a container at the premises. The woman was then taken into custody on suspicion of simple larceny. She is expected to be charged. The police revealed that the woman is believed to have taken the keys from the police station while on a visit on Tuesday, September 13, to make a report. The keys were discovered missing on Wednesday, September 14, when court personnel sought to retrieve them from the police station. Brothers killed in Kingston about 20 minutes after promising her brother that she would reserve some of her Sunday dinner for him. Rema Lyons received disturbing news via telephone that left her in a state of shock. Her brothers, Richard and Garth Lyons, had been shot as they sat talking under a tree at 31 Stipend Road in Kingston. Garth, 42, who had returned home 3 months ago after serving a 10-year prison sentence, died at the Kingston Public Hospital while being treated. The younger sibling, Richard, 31, also known as Dudaman, who was expecting his firstborn in December, died on the spot. Not even 20 minutes ago, him come out of the house and go out of the road. Me there cook and hear the whole heap of gunshot them. The only thing I could say was, I wonder if my brother them alright, because me know them love sitting over there. That's the only thing I could say. And as me take up my phone, so I want you to say, your brother them dead, she recalled. And me and them grow we close. We eat and drink out of one plate, everything. Though the man baby girl for born in December, them very excited over it. And I yesterday God asked me for some dinner. And me tell him say it's soon finished. I just say meat can me I wait for done, she said. Bishop says Chang should resign over desperate shoot-to-kill comments. Presiding Bishop of the Christian Holiness Church in Jamaica, Dr. Alvin Bailey, says National Security Minister Dr. Chang's shoot-to-kill statement is a sign of desperation and he should resign. In a media release on Tuesday, Bailey said the statement is consistent with Chang's continued poor performance and lack of policies to fight crime and violence. It is very clear that he can't manage the portfolio, so the decent thing to do is resign, or the Prime Minister should reassign him to another post, said Bailey. At this time in our society, with calculated, brutal and senseless killings, our constituted authorities cannot advance policies that promote the current, rapidly evolving culture of disregard for law and order, he continued. Bailey had made similar calls for Chang to resign in January, citing the country's crime wave. In his latest statement, Bailey stressed that persons in government cannot allow the unabated trend of crime and violence to cause them to become irrational in speech or in the execution of their responsibilities. He is urging the government to resume engagement with stakeholders on crime and violence and consider implementing plans proposed by the Crime Monitoring Oversight Committee. He is also suggesting that a consultative commission comprising retired high-ranking police officers and judges be established. Speaking in Westmoreland last week, Chang urged members of the security forces to shoot to kill when confronted by armed gunmen, noting that the country was spending too much to treat criminals at public health facilities. The statements have been condemned by human rights groups and the Independent Commission of Investigations. St. Catherine murder case against policemen transferred to Circuit Court. The case against the two policemen charged with murder almost 14 years after a fatal shooting was today transferred to the St. Catherine Circuit Court. A voluntary bill of indictment was entered in the parish court this morning by the prosecution to give effect to the change. Sergeant Gervin Lechman and Constable Dane Lawson are being accused of the September 22, 2008 shooting death of Javon Robinson, Jobs Lane, Spanish Town, St. Catherine. When they appeared in the Circuit Court before Justice Bertram Morrison, the matter was postponed until October 31. The allegations are that about 3:30 p.m. on the day in question, police conducted an operation along Jobs Lane, Spanish Town. During the operation, Robinson was allegedly shot and killed by police when he challenged them. The police reportedly seized an illegal gun in the incident. An investigation was launched into the matter, and in April 2022, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions ruled that the policeman be charged with murder. Jamaica reports 35 new COVID-19 cases, 2 deaths. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 35 new COVID-19 cases and 2 deaths on Monday, September 19, bringing the infection total to 151,375. The new cases comprise 18 females and 17 males, with ages ranging from 1 year to 87 years. The cases were recorded in St. Catherine 10, St. James 6, Kingston and St. Andrew 5, Westmoreland 5, Trelawney 2, Hanover 2, Clarendon 1, Manchester 1, St. Anne 1, St. Elizabeth 1, and St. Thomas 1. 2 deaths were recorded for the period. These were a 53-year-old male from Manchester and a 78-year-old female from Kingston and St. Andrew. There were 110 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 98,362. Currently, 96 people are hospitalized, 25 of whom are moderately ill, 5 severely ill, and 4 in critical condition. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest round of testing is 12.4%. In sports news, West Indies women lose to New Zealand in rain-affected match. Jamaican all-rounder Chanel Henry put on a spirited performance with the bat and ball, but her efforts failed to prevent West Indies women from going down by 5 runs to New Zealand under the Duckworth-Lewis Stern method in their rain-affected opening one-day international in Antigua. Asked to bat first, West Indies reached 168.47 in 35 overs after the match was reduced because of a wet pitch. When bad light forced the game to be called off, the visitors were 159.45 in 33 overs. The right-handed Henry, along with Keshona Knight, rescued West Indies, who were struggling at 74.45 in the 21st over. The pair dug deep and added 83 runs for the 6th wicket, with Henry going on to top score with 44 from 34 balls with 5 fours before she was caught off Jess Carr. 2 balls later, Carr then accounted for Knight, who was also caught. Knight made 36 from 61 balls with a single boundary, as Carr finished with 2 wickets for 29 runs and Fran Jonas 2 for 22. In reply, New Zealand got off to a good start with 54 from veteran opener Susie Bates and 25 from captain Sophie Devine. Despite 3 wickets from captain Hayley Matthews, the visitors were well on their way to getting the target before bad light forced the players off the pitch. Amelia Carr was left not out on 47, as Henry and Affie Fletcher picked up a wicket each. The teams play again on Thursday. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.